Hi, it's Collette here from the Sacred Rose Temple, and I've decided to do this recording to talk about some themes that have been coming up for me in my women's group. So currently I'm running the 13 Roses, which is a 9 month long course through sacred sexuality. And I'm also doing the Red Rose with women on igniting the sacred sexual fire within. So there's been some kind of big realizations and lots of discoveries for the women's in the groups about the sacred sexual body. And it was on a call I did with the Red Rose women where lots of things had started to show themselves with woundings and being held back in circumstances that some of the women didn't want to be in. So, for example, being single or being in relationships that weren't right for them. And I was pondering the idea of the phases of the feminine. So, the maiden and the mother and the crone. And it was something that I'd been feeling myself really in being, pre-crone and deeply embedded in mother energy and kind of coming up to crone but not quite there. And I was feeling to myself, what kind of cycle am I in? Like, where am I in this? I'm not quite entering my crone energy and I haven't quite left mother energy. I'm still a child and I still feel like I'm in like a mothering role in my forums and my groups, and I kind of really am calling in the crone energy now. I want her to come forward, but I don't want to miss the space I'm in. So what's between mother and crone, that's where I am. And what does that mean to me and how do I navigate that space? So I'm pondering that. I kind of was applying that to women in the group, and I felt that there were some ladies in there that were stuck in maiden energy. So, everything's got a light part of it. Maiden energy is beautiful. It's that, that pre virginous bride that's ready to be a bride and has youth on her side, and yeah, very, very many light qualities. We always think of these, what we call the triple goddess, in light qualities. And I have a real deep interest in the shadow and shadow psychology. So I was feeling, well, there must be like shadow aspects to these goddesses. And that made me work with that element in my group. So, for example, there is women who can be very, very caught up in maiden energy, young girl energy, that are wishing to call in, say, a masculine, a man into their life. Maybe they're wanting to start a family and enter into mother energy. And don't get me wrong, mother energy isn't just about having children. It encompasses many other things, but I find this is more highlighted in women in my groups who would like to have children, who are not in that situation. They've not met the right man, for example. So I was asking them to inquire, and it's not always easy to see the places where you're stuck, but to inquire into where they were stuck in maiden, where they weren't quite transitioning out of that maiden energy, and what did that look like. So for some women, that's to do with, being provided for financially, emotionally, and needing from the other. It might be that they haven't yet acquired the set of mothering skills that might be required to think of mother energy. So highlighting that for someone really helps them think, where am I stuck? So I don't want to be gender typical here or be stuck in an old fashioned sense of what a woman is, but skills like cooking, skills like making a home are definite attributes for mother energy, because they are, we can't mother our children unless we've got some kind of cooking skills, or that we can provide food for our children. And there was just some women who weren't entering that, even though they might have been in their late 30s. They were not able to cook, for example, or bring a meal together. And for me, you know, I've been that kind of far out woman who didn't believe in cooking for the masculine, and men cooked and women cooked, and I find myself in a different role now where I love serving my masculine with food and cooking for my masculine. And I could see and feel the energy behind that and what was missing for some this woman in particular. So that really helped me look at the opposite as well, and the kind of men that the maiden attracts. So women who are in maiden energy will attract bachelor energy, and bachelors like to not commit. They like to be with ladies for fun and for romance and for sex and for not the committed things that the mother energy of a woman pulls on. And if she's mainly stuck in maiden energy, she won't call in anything other than the bachelor. So the mother energy, she wants to call in the father energy, or the fatherdom, as I like to call him. And he's looking for a deeper commitment. He's looking for a wife. He's looking for a partner to uh, devote to and potentially have a family with, or build a nest with, or a home with, or a life with, or a business with, whatever that is. So if we're in that mother energy, then we're more likely to call in a man who is in father energy. And it's really worth thinking about. So I can give you my own story here. When I was in my 30s and I found myself single, and I became I feel I slipped out of mother energy because I was trying to recover many years that I'd been in a marriage and had settled down. And so I started to go out and I started to meet younger guys, and I wanted to go for meals and I wanted to date and I wanted to do fun things with those guys. And that was a reclamation of some of the maiden energy that I might have lost by settling down early as I did in a long-term relationship. So it was very telling for me at that time in my life, the kind of men I attracted and that bachelor energy. And of course, when I was ready to settle down again and maybe enter into more of a solid relationship, I had to find that mother energy in me again, and enter that aspect of feminine energy that encompass mother energy. And I don't really like to list what mother energy is. It's up to you as an individual to know what mother energy means for you, because for mother energy for me meant, you know, home, a nest, a more settled way of life. And that's not the case for all women and how they utilize mother energy. So when I entered into mother energy, I met somebody who was also leaving bachelor energy and wanting to drop into his father energy. And I feel that's true for all cycles of our life. It's okay to be in the stages, the age stages of the mother, and still require maiden energy because of years you may have lost, or just for some part of yourself that you want to reclaim or revisit. And then knowing that when you want to kind of settle down and have more of a home and family mothery environment, that things need to change to attract that opposite energy in of the father. And the same goes for the crone energy. So the crone energy calls in the wise man, the man who's also been through family, had his family, and comes to a place where he's starting to do some deeper inner work on himself, and his life looks out and says, you know, what have I got to do now? What am I here for at this stage in my life? And for the crone, that's the same. Her mothering days are over, her maiden days are over, and she's entering a new stage of her experience and her womb and her magic and her power and her elder energy that she can pass on to the women below her, the maiden and the mother advice. So I just wanted to share that because I felt it was really important to ponder on what stage you're currently at as a man or a woman. Where are you at, and what do you want in your life at the moment? And does your energetic pattern match those wants? So if you're wanting more settled, more domesticated, a devoted man who wants a family life, blah, blah, blah. Are you in your mother energy, or are you still hanging on to the maiden? Are you still being a young girl? And where does that require you to change so that you can bring in what you need? And for me, you know, in between, in a flux of these two different stages, I'm navigating one foot in mother energy and one foot in my crone energy, and seeing which parts of that are serving me and where I might be stuck in mother that might not let me enter my crone deeply enough. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there tonight to help any of you women that might be seeing certain cycles and stuckness. So it allows us to reflect on ourselves, to see why we're attracting certain energies and why we aren't attracting um, the call of not just a man but of life in general. So more settled jobs, different more exciting jobs, maybe more spiritual work, working on wisdom and your womb, and for men working on, you know, guiding men and dropping into a space of the wizened man. So hope you have a good evening wherever you are, and hope this receives you well. And hopefully I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.